Hey lovelies, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be doing natural hair boho braids. I am doing them on my own hair and I am adding a little hair just because my hair hasn't really grown in yet since my big chop last year, but I really wanted the style, so we're improvising here. Now I think it had a really natural finish, but you let me know what you think. Right now I am doing the setup, so I'm just going to show you how I did them. If you want a more detailed explanation, there are timestamps available in this video, and you can check the description for any products or anything that I may mention throughout the video as usual. So I hope you enjoy, and welcome to my channel if you are new. As I was cleaning up from the end of the year, I found some clip-ins that I never really used before, so I decided to go ahead and use them because I just didn't like how they looked. They couldn't blend well, and I don't like how the clip feels in my hair, so I'm repurposing hair that I found around the house. Now the vision I had for this hairstyle was just natural hair boho braids. I've done them on my natural hair in the past before I did my chop, so I just wanted that look. This would be considered to be a full protective hairstyle because your hair will be sealed in at the end. I hope this is helpful for anyone coming across this video, and if there's anything you want me to slow down with or come back and explain more, just let me know in the comments section. I'll be sure to come back and assist. Okay, so enjoy the video. After cutting the human hair off the weft, you're going to go ahead and remove a small section of the bulk that should be in proportion to the plait. You split that into two because we're going to add that in as we go down the shaft of the hair. Now go ahead and part the hair. Luckily for boho plaits, you don't have to have super straight parts, but if you do want to go ahead and do that, you can. And I don't typically use product on my scalp only because it irritates me. Now I go ahead and start with just plaiting, and for some reason I decided 7 was the opportune number, so I decided to plait down 7 times, and then I start to add the hair. Now one side is going to be more blunt. You're going to tuck that into your braid. Now hold 3 legs of the braid, and across 2 of them you're going to lay the braiding hair flat across there and use the 3rd leg to swoop that in. Closer look, just going to lay it flat across 2 of them, and you see that 3rd leg comes around, and then you're going to continue braiding as normal. Again, 7 is that number, so I go down 7 times, and then I remove the longer piece of hair. And for some reason on this braid I decided to split that. I didn't do that for all of my hair, but I wanted to try something out. And then I go back and just keep plaiting down 7 times again until we get to the point where I'll add another piece of hair. And then we're adding the hair exactly how I did it the first time. You're going to lay it flat across those 2 and then plait it in. Now depending on the length of your hair and the finished look you desire, you may want to use more or less hair. So for me, I wanted it to look really natural. Didn't want too much hair in here, but of course you feel free to add. Now I start to share hair when I get closer to the bottom. You see I'm running out of length for my own hair, and I'll just keep going all the way down until there's no more hair to plait. Now if you want to do the boho canerow or cornrow, you're gonna go ahead and do similar to a feeding braid. Right here I'm just putting a little edge control just to smooth it down, avoiding my scalp as much as possible. You're just gonna start the canerow like a regular canerow. You're just gonna braid it back, and then when you do start to add the hair, you're gonna do it just like a feeding braid. Just be careful as to what part you're gonna have on the outside versus what part you're going to tuck in the braid. So what I mean by that is, you see you have the length of hair, the blunt part, you don't want that on that side, so see I spin it around just so you can see. You want the lighter fluffier hair on that side, Even if you make the mistake, you can always fix it by using a razor and thinning it out, but it's just easier if you do it right the first time. So you go ahead and you feed that braid in, and if it's easier to use a clip to keep it in place, go ahead and do that. But you're just gonna plait it in, like braid it in like regular, and you keep going. And for these I just added like 2 little pieces, and to be honest, the part that I used for this demonstration was a bit big, so typically I'll do something a little bit smaller just so it's a bit wispier. But again, this is better to look at, I think, for demonstration purposes. You see, I put a little bit at the back because I realized it was a bit too thick, and I just continued. Now the difference with the Canerow versus the other plaits is that I added an extra piece of hair closer to the end, just so it will fall and look just like the other plaits when it's all said and done. Now that the install is complete, you can go ahead and activate those curls, even though I low-key kind of like the fuzzy look. Now completely saturate the hair with water. When you do spray on, because it's human hair, you leave it for about a minute or so, just allow time for the hair to kind of open up, for it to receive the product that you're going to put on it. I use the Organic Root Stimulator Wrap and Set mousse, and I use the mousse just because I didn't want anything too heavy like a gel that's going to define them curls so much that it makes the hair look really thin. So the mousse provides the definition in the curl without that flatness that gel can sometimes cause. Now at this stage you have to be very patient, just because sometimes it takes a little while for these curls to start coming out. So I went ahead and added a little bit more water, and I just kept messing around with the amount of product and water I was using. And I also left a bit of my hair out, of course, at the front. This lends to the illusion that all of the hair is mine, just because my curl pattern's pretty similar. So I think it looks really natural. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section, and if you like this video, go ahead and watch some more. All right, later lovelies.